Okay.
Okay, so the purpose of this workshop is to make sure that everybody in the class knows how to create a Google Doc, to change the sharing permissions, create a folder, and to be able to change the sharing permissions on the folder. That's my type priorities on this workshop. Rachel, do you know how to do that?
I know how to do like the first two. I'm still kind of shaky on sharing and all that.
Okay, so sharing super important. Okay, Mo, what about you?
I'm good on those.
Okay, I really am just doing basics here. So I'm going to introduce, this is what Google Drive is.
Yep.
Here's how to search for stuff in Google Drive. Here's how to make a Google Doc, sheets, slides. You know, I'll show you the little menu, and then do sharing permissions, and that's about it.
Okay.
So you should like go to bed. Just saying. I'm not going to show you anything you don't know, I swear. Let's the first thing, I mean, Google Drive is the basics of everything. You want to make sure that you're able to get there. Drive.google.com. You can use the is there 2 waffles? No, there's not. It's too late at night. I need to drink more I need to drink less coffee, actually. I need to go to bed. Oh, do you see how they changed Hangouts to Meet?
Oh, they did.
All right, so you know, you can go to the waffle and go to the Drive icon, but you can just go to drive.google.com. You just type Drive and then it's .google.com. If you want Google Docs, it's docs.google.com. If you want maps, it's maps.google.com. Like, that's how everything rolls. Whatever you want, it's that.google.com. So we're going to go to drive.google.com. That's super important. It's on the tape. That wasn't for you guys. You know, so once you're in there, it's basically a giant thumb drive. You've got folders, you got your files. You can stick anything in there. Do you guys know you can just drag stuff into Drive? Here's like a screenshot that I have on my desktop. Do you see I'm literally dragging it in there. I don't know why I need that screenshot. I don't. You need to know to click on the new button and to be able to create a folder. And that you can create Google Docs, sheets, slides. And if you go to more, that you can create forms, drawings, other stuff. Good, good. You guys already know that?
Yeah.
Good. Faster, Alice. Here's the magic sauce for me is the recent on the left-hand side. That's like my go-to. The very first thing I do when I open up Google Drive is I click on recent over here on the left-hand side. If you go to shared with me, it's not a folder. It's not a folder. So if you click on something in shared with me, I'm looking for something that is shared with me and I don't have access to it. These are all Google Classroom stuff, so they're already in my Google Drive. They're in my Classroom folder. I'm looking for something that's not. What about that? So it should come up here. See here it says move. If it's not already in one of my folders, there we go. That's what I wanted to show. If it's not already in one of my folders, I have to add it to a folder. Because shared with me is not a folder, it's a filter. You can't organize it. So if someone shares something with you, you immediately go into Drive, you click on share with me, and you can find it that way. And so you can see what's been recently shared with you. But if they share something with you, all of these things are already in my Drive. So if they share something with you, you have to add it to your Drive manually, because otherwise it's in their Drive.
Now, when you add it to your Drive and later on they decide to unshare it with you, what happens to it?
Well, if they're the owner, you know, and Google's constantly changing things. So Mo, let's try it.
Okay.
So create a new Google Doc. Your Bitmoji on this. Okay, and I'm gonna put my Bitmoji on this. You might have noticed a pattern about my class. Okay, so then I'm going to click the blue share button. What's your email?
MONGKON. There you go.
Okay, so now you're going to go to Google Drive and click on Shared with Me, and you're going to join me in this document. And this never ever gets old. You watching, Rachel?
Yes.
This is about to be the most epic part of my day right here. I'm just looking at this spot up here in the corner next to comments.
I'm going to screen share in case.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, right? So he was able to find it without me sharing a link with him, right? Right here. This is the epic part of my day. Do you see this? Now, sometimes I share it with myself, and I have the Google Doc like on my phone and on the computer, and then all of a sudden myself shows up, and I get excited for a brief moment that someone is going to hang out with me. And then I realize it's just me. Does that ever happen to you? Because it never, ever gets old to have somebody join your document. I'm just going to say. Okay, so now, Mo, here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to like push enter like 1,000,000 times. I'm going to be way down here. That's page 2, page 3. Here is Alice. Okay, so now what I want you to do, wait, you got to be up at the top with the Bitmoji.
Okay.
Okay, I want you to click on my picture. Not my Bitmoji, my picture.
Oh, your picture. Okay.
Yeah. And it jumps you to my.
Oh, nice.
Not the coolest thing ever. Maybe not. I got other things that are cool.
More ways to stalk.
Exactly. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on the blue share button, and it says here shared with Mo, and I'm going to get rid of him. Okay, so refresh. Because I just ditched you. Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to go into Google Drive, and then just at the top do a search for put your Bitmoji on this. Okay, so it's gone.
On.
Right, so that answers that question. Now we know. Okay.
Well, does that happen even if I've moved it from the shared with me into my actual drive?
Oh, that's a good point. Let's do it again. I'm going to share it back with you. Okay, good question. Mo. Here we go. Mo. Are your permissions again? All right, so now go to share with me. You might. Yeah. All right, now click on that once, and then all this toolbar nonsense shows up at the top. Yeah, click it once, and then single click. And then you see it has all these toolbars, icons, a link and a man and an eyeball.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so go to the add to drive. Okay, so now it's in your drive. Okay, now what happens when I get rid of you? By Mo. Okay. And now.
So it still says on the folder here that, oh, it went, it's gone.
Type in the top, put your Bitmoji on this. Okay, so now we know. Because I'm the owner, I can boot you. Now, if I was not the owner, you know, I can leave a document, but I can't delete a document. So if I'm not the owner, I can't delete it. Okay, let's try that one. I'm going to share it with you. Okay, I'm going to share it with you. And then I'm going to trash it. Okay, so open it up.
Oh.
Okay, now I'm going to file, move to the trash. Okay, so now it's in the trash. Now what does it say?
It's right in the document that I had open. It gave me file is in the owner's trash.
That's so interesting. It'll allow you to make a copy. Wow. Wow. I just learned something right now.
Cool.
I know. Hold on. Don't move that screen. I want to take a screenshot. I'm going to tweet it. That's interesting. Okay. So now just close it and go to your drive. And then see if you can search it. I mean, I'm assuming it won't show up.
Now, the thing is, like with any document you share, whoever you share it with, they have the option to make a copy, right?
I'm going to fix that for you. Hold on. Okay. Yes and no. So when you open up a Google Doc, wait, it would help if I turn on screen sharing, wouldn't it? You guys, you got to like make sure that I'm screen sharing. Okay, so one of the things you can do is you can click on the blue share button and you go to advanced down here in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And then it has these two little check boxes. Prevent changing access and disable copy.
Oh, okay.
But for viewers, so if you have editing access, you can make a copy. Period. I can't stop an editor from making a copy. I'm going to do this again. When you're in a Google Doc, it's really essential that you can recognize the blue share button has a padlock on it and it's private. So you click the blue share button and the share screen comes up. Now, if you choose get shareable link, if you click on here, it's important to note that it only shares it with Fresno State. And you still have to have the link. It's not like anybody at the school can find it. They'd have to have the link. And so the trick is, and you can always just type in somebody's email down here and give them access. Let me do that again. I'm going to click on here. Now you'll notice the pencil says you're giving them edit access. If you see a tiny triangle, click on it. Oh, that's interesting. I'm able to make that work by pounding on the table. So if you click on the tiny triangle, you can say, you know what, this person can only comment or this person can only view this document. So when you share it with them, you can share it with view and comment rights. You don't have to give them edit rights. So I'm going to do that. Yep, sounds good. So I'm going to click on the blue share button. And the thing to notice is down in the corner where it says advanced. I click on that, it opens me up to a screen with some options. That's where I can check those check boxes. But I can also, do you notice when I hover over here, it gives a little, what is that? Stopwatch.
Oh, nice.
So Mo is only going to be allowed to access this document. What's today? The 27th? Until tomorrow. And I think I can change the time. If I go custom date, can I not change the time? I can't give you 15 minutes of access? Huh. All right. Really? So it won't let me do today. I have to give you a whole day. I have to. This says 11:59. Something's wrong. Doesn't it feel like it should allow me to, it says till midnight. It won't let me change that. Huh. You know what? I never ever do this. Like I never want to give somebody access for like a day. So I just never do that. But do you see I'm doing it as I'm just hovering?
Right.
And then I set the expiration. I'm like, Mo has until the 31st. No. He's got a week to look at this. And then done. So Mo, that's might be how you want to share stuff with people in your department. Like, here's the test. You can have input for the next 7 days, and then it's done. Save. And I'm going to do this again. I'm going to click on the blue share button. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to zoom in again. You look at that blue share button, you know it says a picture of a building on it? That means only people at your school. Anyone at Fresno State. So if you click on advanced, it says anyone at Fresno State. So if they're not at Fresno State, they can't see it. So I click on change. Don't use this top one. It's going to go away. Just pretend it doesn't exist. I usually just use this one. Anyone with the link. And then because I'm spicy, I will very often change it from can view to can edit. You know why? Because I always have revision history where I can put it back. I'll put can edit. Mo, you're in this document. Would you mind messing it up for me?
Sure.
All right, so you're going to go to Drive. You're going to click on Shared with Me. And then the most epic thing's about to happen right up here. It never gets old, Rachel. It never gets old. Here it goes. Mo's in my document.
I like the way it like swipes down. So cool.
Okay, mess it up.
Whoa.
Do that. I learned all kinds of things today. Are they all individual? They are. How did you do that?
I don't know. I meant to just do one. I clicked on this Monday's one and
how did you?
Okay, that one just added one. What the heck?
How did you? See, it's when you make mistakes is when you learn the most.
Yep. But we're not learning it yet because we still haven't figured out how to
learn it. I'm gonna learn it. I'm gonna figure out what you did. I have an idea. I'm just trying stuff. Rachel's like, I really don't care.
Fun.
Oh my gosh. Now this is my new obsession. I have to know how you did it. Okay, so but it's really important that you can go File, Version History. So this is new. They renamed it. It used to say Revision History. Now it says Version History. Whatever. It's a small change. I can get over that. But this is kind of cool because you can name it. So I'm going to name this current version Mo Messed It Up. And it's going to give me the option right now where I can view the version history. But I just would go File, Version History, see the version history. And it shows me on the side these revisions. Do you see these 3 dots? This is new. It's going to let me name this version. So I'm going to call this Notes Template. And then it gives me the option to, up here, store this revision. Or version, it used to say revision. And it puts it back. Mo, go File, go into the File Revision History.
Okay, I'm looking at it.
Okay, go, all right, and then click on Mo Messed It Up. You might need a refresh because
Oh, okay.
Let's do it again. File, Version History. Yeah, see the version history.
Oh, so
messed it up. And then you can restore that version.
Oh.
And you got to go up to the big blue button. So guys, this is how I just keep using the same exact syllabus every semester. And then I don't have to update my links anywhere.
Interesting.
All right, and then so then I, like, no, for reals, Mo. I'm going to show you a secret. It's going to go File, Version History, see the version history. Do you see where it says all changes saved in Drive? This is like a quick link to the version history. Whoa. And then I put it back to the notes template and I restore this revision. So what I do is, you guys, all those, if you go into where you're signing up for your collaboration groups, don't do it, but you could. You go to File, the version history, and you can see what groups I had last semester because I used the exact same spreadsheet. So every semester, I don't have to make everything over again. I just name it before students edit it. I say name the version and name this version and name it template. And then I put it in Classroom and you guys sign up for groups or do peer evaluation. And then next semester, I go into the revision history and I put it back to the template. I don't have to do anything. All right, so that was important. So if wait, let's turn the screen sharing on before I like point at stuff. So next to the help where it says all changes saved, if you click on that, it's a quick way to get to the version history. Or you go File, Version History, see Version History. You definitely want to know how to do that. If you click on the 3 dots, you can name the versions. It's literally like a week old. You should be able to click on the blue share button. And I'm just going to make a new document. docs.google.com/create. Look up here, it says a titled document. I can name it. Be able to click on the blue share button. Type in somebody's email address. Click on the tiny triangle and decide if you want to give them edit access. If you see a tiny triangle, click on it. If you see a tiny triangle, click on it. Okay. You can give a note if you want. Blue share button. You should be able to click on advanced. This little tiny advanced. And change sharing permissions to anyone with the link can view. That's really important. Super important. You need to be able to get outside of Fresno State. Unless you're paranoid, then whatever. Okay, you need to be able to create a new folder. I'm going to delete this because it's a sample. You'll notice that the folder above it has a little man on it. This does not because it's private. So when I have nothing clicked on, you notice there's no buttons up here, no icons. If I click on it one time, all these icons show up. See, excuse me. You should be able to click on this link icon and then turn on sharing permissions. And then this is actually a link, sharing settings, and it's going to open up that box. And I want to change it from anyone at Fresno State, and should be able to change that to anyone with the link can edit or can view. Can view. So what's going to happen is a little picture is going to show up on the folder. Now, when I create a new file, do you see I double-clicked on the folder? If I create a new file, I gotta type something. Notice it changes from being private to being, look at the icon. It's a man with a link. Anyone with a link can view. It's not a building. It's not a padlock. Really important. It's a man with a link. And how come it was just automatically? Because normally if I go new anything, it'd be private, right? You see how it's private?
Okay.
Oops, I don't know what I just did. I'm all like super zoomed in. So I type on something, and then as soon as I edited it, it changed from private to anyone with a link. Why? Because it's in the folder. So that's the magic sauce. And oh, by the way, let me just Command 0 on this. If I click up here, it's going to match the title to the document name. So one of the things you want to do is you want to go to My Drive. You want to find the classroom folder. You want to find the folder for this class. This one. and you want to do the get a shareable link in the toolbar, turn the link sharing on, and go into the sharing settings and say, we can go to the advanced. You can also just click on the tiny triangle and go to more. They both take you someplace similar. And I want anyone with the link can view.
Now, Alice, I have a question about anyone with the link.
Yeah.
Does that also mean, as long as they know the URL,
yeah,
they can get there?
You have to have the URL. You're not going to guess it. I mean, this is the URL. You're not going to guess it.
I see.
You'd have to have it. You guys, this is also like a quick and dirty. As you can see, where it says shared with. You can click there. Or you can click on advanced. Both will work. So what you want to do, though, is you want to change the sharing permissions on your classroom folder.
So what I actually did for my folder
is visible. What'd you do, Mo?
What I did was I went into that classroom folder. I did this last week, and I made another folder in there for sharing.
All right, that's fine, except let me challenge you. You make a new assignment. Just go into CI149 and open up any assignment.
Oh.
Yeah, right there, perfect. Open up any assignment. That's an announcement. Click on create, create some. Okay, now go back to that Google Drive folder. It should be in there. There it is, in the middle, under your portfolio.
Yep.
So there's the problem. It's not in your public shared folder, so you got to move that.
Yeah.
Manually.
So the reason why I did that was I wasn't sure because some of the documents that end up in that folder are generated on your end. And so I didn't know what sorts of things you're going to put in there, and I might not want all of it shared.
Yeah, but you have to have the link. So
right.
What does it make?
Well, so if I, for some reason, share the folder.
Yeah, share the whole folder.
So if someone has a link, if I've posted a link to this folder at any point, then, for example, if I go to the Google Plus community and stick it in there,
sure,
they always have, that's all there.
That's true. Do it. Here's all my stuff, guys. Do it. If you want to. What's your hesitation?
Well, no, my hesitation last week was that I don't know if, for example, you might return stuff that has personal information in it or whatever.
Don't share that.
Right, and so that's why I wouldn't want the entire classroom folder to be shared.
Okay, so you have this public shared folder as a subfolder, but do you see the tiny triangle where it says CI149 aught in the breadcrumbs higher? It says My Drive Classroom CI149 aught.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, if there's a tiny triangle, you should click on it. Go to share. So right now this is doing stuff to that folder. Yeah, advanced, change. Anyone with the link? There you go. So don't share, if you don't want to, don't share that link.
Right.
But now we've solved the problem that all your documents are now viewable. Everything you make is now viewable. Which is good, because open up your digital portfolio. The problem is that you'll always see everything on there is going to look awesome to you. You know? Because when you look at your portfolio, it has your documents. Guess what? You have access to all your documents.
Right. I usually run it through an incognito window, and that way it doesn't remember my login.
On your own computer?
Yeah. So incognito doesn't save anything, right?
Theory. It does. So, still knows my passwords. I'm like, what happened here? It's not supposed to. Anyway, when somebody else looks at your digital portfolio, all the documents say permission needed, permission needed. So if you change the sharing permissions on your class folder, then anything you made in class will work on your portfolio for strangers. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I mean, you have to, on purpose, for every single darn thing you make, if you put it on your digital portfolio, you got to change the sharing permissions yourself. Unless you are smart and you put it in a folder and the sharing permissions on the folder review, and now it's a free-for-all. You can put whatever you want on your site because so long as it's in that folder, it's viewable. Well, Google Classroom automatically makes a folder that all your stuff goes in. So if you make the Google Classroom folder, anyone with the link can view, then you don't have any problems with your portfolio. Unless you're paranoid and you don't want people to look at your stuff, and that's a different issue. Which, if you're paranoid and you don't want people to look at your stuff, that's legit. I mean, get around that. All right, so you need to be able to, I'm going to delete this folder. When I click single click, I've got toolbar. Oh my gosh, it's 3 dots. Click on it. You see a tiny triangle or 3 dots, click on them. So I can change the folder color. That's fun. You can also right click and get all these options. So you can download the folder. You could rename the folder. You can put a star on the folder, or documents if it was a doc.
What does adding a star do? Besides adding a star.
You see over here on the side? The starred on the left. Oh, I'm going to trash it. If I go into starred.
Oh.
So the trick is you should notice what I have starred, the current syllabus. So the trick is that anything that you would reuse, stuff that's important, you should get in the habit of starring it. Especially when you're the teacher, because now you got all student work all mixed in with your stuff, and then it's a disaster. So when I click on starred, this stuff is only my good stuff. Is nice. Do you see a tiny triangle? Oh, looky there. Up here in the search box, do you see it? Click on it. And that's how you can filter your drive. And one of the things you can filter for is starred.
Nice.
So you definitely want to click on that triangle in the search options. You can also filter by type. You can search for folders, but you cannot search for stuff in a folder, which is kind of weird. Do you see this eye? It's super handy. So if you click on the eye, it pulls up this info pane. It shows you who has access, what folder it's in. You can remove it from a folder. Do you see I have this in 3 folders? Tells me when it's modified, created. But if you go to activity, you can see who's been working on it. So that's really helpful for student work.
Wait, did you just have something that was in 3 different folders?
Yeah. So Mo, here's your stuff. So when I click on your stuff, I can see, but without opening it, I can see if you've been working on it or not. So it's like, he hasn't worked on it for a week. Should I bother opening it?
Mm.
So if I have and I go into Google Classroom, so in my drive, I go to Classroom, and I go to the class folder. There's easier ways to find this, by the way. And I got any screenshots in there? Nope. Okay. HW blank. So when I click on each person, I can tell if they've been working on it or not. That's interesting. When you click create, it's me sharing it with you. Is that right? No. I bet you turned that in. I'm learning a lot of stuff right now. And how do you learn stuff? You just click on things and then wonder. Wait a minute. Classroom does some weird stuff. Okay, so Melissa created the document and it auto-magically shared with the CI 149 teachers because she created it in Classroom. She could technically boot us out. Huh. So then she turned it in, and that's why now she can view it. No, wait, I get this. Why does it say anyone with the link? Because I shared the whole folder, remember? And I made everybody's stuff anyone with the link because I'm tricky like that. That's actually one of my tricks that I do because otherwise at people's portfolio presentations, like so many of their documents are private. So if they did it in Classroom, I set the permissions for them by just changing the whole folder permissions. And I ended up changing everybody's stuff. I'm sneaky. Yeah, that's mostly it. Is there anything else you want to know?
No. Learn stuff.
Good. Learning stuff is good. I learned some stuff too. It's essentially what I need to make sure you know how to share stuff. So we're good with that. You can create a doc. Those are the basics. That's all I'm doing. Although I did a few tricks. I did. Oh, you know what? Let me show you one other thing.
Okay.
I create a new Google Doc. Let's say these are your notes. I like to push enter a whole bunch of times. All right, so it's just like, I don't know what we're doing this week. That's not this. So we've got, just start with like number 29, number 30, Twitter handle, and let's just kind of take a look at this really quick while we're in here. Let's talk about for this week what your notes would look like. So the agenda, all you have to do is acknowledge that you read it. Like, yep, that's what I got to do this week. Thanks for that, Keeler. Thanks for that. It gets better. Most of that's just checking stuff off. This discussion should definitely be in your notes. So the way to find that, okay, I got to do it from student point of view. You do my entire screen. And then let me switch to a student. So let me be Krista. And she is in this class right here. So if Krista clicks on the About tab, you click on the About tab, it says your work. It also says class folder. If you click on class folder in Drive, this is going to show you all your documents. So here's her notes from week 1. That's how you find them. So if she goes into the stream and goes down here to assignment number 2. Wait a minute, week 2. And is okay, so right, I'm going to click on here. I'm going to mark it as done because I looked at the agenda. And then I just go back. And then on this one, on the discussion, right, I need to add stuff in the discussion to my notes, right? So it's like, Taylor, I did the Twitter chat. Screenshots are in my notes. Post it. Mark it as done. Oh, wait, that's not good enough. I have to put the date. 8/27/2017. Discussion on teaching in the 21st century. I gotta like date and title the discussion. But then I gotta go get my notes. So I go to the About tab and I click on the class folder. Dang it. I was gonna show you how I make the notes because I'm a goober. Are these in the right order? Here we go. Sign in. Reflection document. Where's the notes document? Oh, it's missing. Here it is. You made a mistake. So 23 is out of order. I got to create a Google Doc for my week 2 notes. And now, when I go to the About tab, I can go to my Drive folder. And there's the week 2 notes. Okay, so now I was going to show you how I push enter a whole bunch of times. So what are we doing this week? We did discussion. So we had Twitter chat on teaching, right? And I want to come over here where it says normal text and change it to heading. So notice it now shows up in the outline. Okay, and then you're going to do workshop on Google Drive basics. And I changed that from normal text to heading. Do you see how it shows up here now? So I would recommend that in your notes that you create headings to kind of section out the different chunks of stuff that you take notes on. Whatever.
And can you like format your own headings if you're?
Yes. So
Okay.
let's say that you would like this to be hot pink and Comic Sans, size 48, and bold. Do you see a tiny triangle? There's like a million of them. Tiny triangle, tiny triangle, tiny triangle, tiny triangle, tiny triangle. Don't wonder. Click on it. So I'm going to click on the tiny triangle. Whoops. Yeah, I'm going to click on the tiny triangle. And then there's another triangle. Click on it. And it says update to match. Ready? And then if I make this heading one, look, my Google Doc just suddenly became epic. And it's missing something. I know Mo knows what it is. Except this account has a man-moji. Memoji. He's sticking his finger in his ear. There we go. I needed a different Bitmoji to go along, so I have a man-moji. I know you guys are excited about it. Okay. Any other questions? I showed you something. We could be here all day, but it's supposed to be basics. We feel okay about finding our notes. The best way, I think, to find your notes is just go to the About tab and find them in the folder, the Drive folder, rather than trying to find the assignment. Oh, you know what? I'm going to show you another trick.
Okay.
Okay, because what happens when you turn in the notes, you lose editing access. So the trick is to remove the X and now it's gone. It only removes it from Classroom. It doesn't remove it from Google Drive. So if I go back to the About tab and I go to the Class Drive folder, notes are in there. But I don't lose editing access. So I would recommend that for your notes and your reflection, that you make it and then just close out of it so it takes it out of Classroom, but it doesn't take it out of the folder.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
then
because I didn't like that you couldn't turn it in, because then it's like, I didn't do it. And like, I know I do it, but it just stressed me out.
I know it does, and it's so stupid, and I need a due date because I need you to make it on like Monday, Tuesday, even though it's blank.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you make it, as soon as you make it, I have access to it. So while you're working on it, I can see it while you work on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I need you to make it early in the week just so I have access.
Right.
So, so the thing that I was trying to get you guys to help me with is really thinking about busy work. Like, I hate midnight due dates. Rachel, how often do you think it is 11:59 and I'm like, turn it, midnight, grading. I'm sleeping. I'm old. Never. I don't grade at midnight. That's stupid. Why are we having stuff due at midnight? People actually argue with me about this. Oh, the kids appreciate the extra time. Do they? Then why don't you do 8 a.m. the next day? Why not that? Because
I like that.
At 8 a.m., you ain't looking at it either. Are you looking at it at 8 a.m.? No. Then why the hell is it due? When, as a teacher, you didn't used to have the choices. Think about it. You'd collect it when the kids came to class because it was paper and I had to put it in my folder so I could take it home. Because when I go home, I have to have it. So between 10 a.m. and when I go home at 6, it just sits in my folder doing nothing, but I had to. Agreed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In digital, between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., before when I'm going to look at it at 6 p.m. in theory, why can't the kid work on it? Why? You're not looking at it. Why does it matter?
No. This
is one of the things that I try to get you guys to really think about in this class is really challenge habits. Mm-hmm. We think there has to be a due date at a certain time, but why? How much critical thinking do you put into your due date time? With paper, you didn't have to. With paper, you didn't have to. But with digital, you do need to think more critically about this. Why is learning due at that time? Why midnight and not 2 a.m.? If the kids appreciate extra time, why not make it 2:06 a.m.?
Yeah. Or like 12:01 when your computer lags and you have this paper due and it's like 12:01 and they're like, nope, and I'm like, my internet froze. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Any teacher who marks a kid down for turning something at 12:01 instead of midnight is a jerk.
Agreed.
I'm going to tweet that. I'm going to tweet that right now and watch me get pushback. I'm going to let you guys know that as soon as you get 100,000 followers, the crazies come out. Here we go. I'm not sure if I was clear enough on that. I mean, it's just like there's so many things now that we're digital, we grade to the 100th place. We don't have the ability to assess to the 100th place. And we laugh at a kid who has an 89.44. No, that makes you a jerk. That makes you a jerk.
That was my first B in college. It was an 89.79 or something, and I was like,
Show me the research that says you can grade that accurately. You can't. You can't. Not only can you not grade accurately to the ones place, you cannot distinguish between 87 and 88. Can't. Not only that, but if you were to give a paper out to a room full of teachers, what's the differential in scores? 30%. 30%, unless it's math, because then it's 40%. Okay, so you can't be accurate up to 3-letter grades.
yeah.
So I have a suggestion, is that we start treating kids like the individual human beings that they are and not like robots in our grade book.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I back it up with a bunch of research if you want. Okay, that's it. That's all I got. You guys want to do anything else?
Good.
Mo's never done. You guys don't know it, but Mo hangs out on a hangout on my phone. And he just stays beside me all the time. Like I'm driving. I got Mo with me. All right, I'm going to stop the